This is Fantology.
You may have heard of us.
Day 6 was a tough one for the power rankings because I feel like there weren't any clear standout number one winners, but there were a lot of pretty good mid performers. Anyway, so here's my take on it, but I think I'm going to get probably the most disagreement than I've had in any of the other days here. The number one spot's going to Szeth again. It really feels like Szeth is winning the book so far, and he's popped up at the top spot in several of my day rankings. In day 6, he did a great job with that Lightweaver riddle. I mean, he needed help from Syl and then from Syl and Kaladin in order to first solve the riddle and then in order to not be killed. But he was able to, he was in a place where he was able to accept the help and he had the help offered to him. So I give him props for this and for his journey thus far. And then he also had a nice little stare down with Nail after Nail told him that he cheated. And then Szeth was like, well, actually, I didn't, tell me what law I broke. And Nail had to back down. So going here with Szeth, I totally understand if you want to go somewhere else, though. Number 2 spot's going to Jasnah, who hasn't done much thus far, but has a massive, massive breakthrough in realizing that there's no troops here in the boats and that Thaylen City's not actually under attack. I really hope she's able to redeploy these troops in a more useful place. Seems like Aasimar is going to be kind of hard to get to because of the whole Oathgate shutdown thing, but hopefully they can be some help in the Shattered Plains, although the Shattered Plains is low on Stormlight, so it would have been best if this didn't happen in the first place, but at least Jasnah was able to recover pretty well. Number 3, Shallan, because of her breakthroughs with Baedo Mishram, seems like she's pulling her out a little bit from hiding, hopefully getting a little closer to that prison, and also understanding her a little bit more. Really seems like Mishram is not the horrible, screaming death god that we first thought she was. Hopefully she's someone that we can understand a little bit more and make use of, and maybe she's only this way because of the long imprisonment. So I guess we'll see, but I really like Shallan's moves here in day 6. Number 4 spot, Dalinar. Once again, Dalinar doesn't do much until the end of the day, at least through the chapters. Time's kind of relative for Dalinar right now in the spiritual realm, but he does get a lot of, more knowledge. He's not really making huge accomplishments as of yet, but he is learning, and it seems like he's getting closer and closer to a big breakthrough. In this case, we got a lot more knowledge about how the whole breaking of the Oath Pact came about, and looks like we're leading towards the Recreants. It seems like Honor is not to be trusted or not as reliable here, and he didn't really help after his herald said, hey, can we alter in some way? Instead, Honor is kind of pushing them towards betraying Talon. That seems a little suspicious. I guess we'll learn more with that, and then Dalinar has yet another throwdown with the Stormfather where he forces his way through to the next vision. So, I hope Dalinar's not making mistakes here, but he's getting things done. Number 5, I'm going with Sylphrena. I really like her move here in helping Szeth in the Lightweaver riddle, which was a fun riddle, and I like how Brandon has made all of these different challenges so unique. At first I was worried okay, we're going through these 10 different monasteries and how boring is this after a while because we're just collecting the next Pokemon gym badge. But instead it's been pretty exciting where each one's had this different type of challenge. In this case, Syl solves the initial riddle with Szeth and then is able to pick up on, the fact that there's another hidden riddle in this, and the Truth Watcher, Honor Nimi, was there ready to kill Szeth until Syl got there just in time, and Kaladin trusted her to take this other Truth Watcher, Nimi, down. Okay, bottom rankings, number 1 spot, anyone living in Kharbranth. I'm really sorry for the events of day 6. Rest in peace. Odium, this has been the biggest, oh my gosh moment of the book so far for me. Did not suspect that Taravangian would do this. I mean, this is his whole MO in trying to save Kharbranth. Cultivation tries to use it against him, and it epically fails. And that's why the number 2 spot's going to Cultivation, who this is her backup reserve emergency plan, and she deploys it, and it is destroyed. So Cultivation has really just been just a brutal 6 days for her thus far, and it's culminating in this epic loss. Number 3, Adolin had a really bad day here in learning that the reinforcements weren't coming at all. It seemed like we were hinting at, for a while, I didn't think that the reinforcements would not come at all. I just thought they would be delayed and they would kind of, come in on the 4th day or whatever day Gandalf comes in at. 5th day, 3rd day, whatever. Yeah, someone tell me what day Gandalf arrives. Anyway, the reinforcements there will not be coming in with Gandalf, and in fact, not coming in at all. And Adolin's going to have to hold this place for 10 days. And now that's looking dire. I mean, I was thinking the Shattered Plains was the worst battlefront, but maybe it's over here with Adolin and Azimir. Number 4, I'm going with Mishram, Baido Mishram. She gets drawn out, and she just seems like she's suffering and just having a terrible day. Maybe this is just another day in the life of being imprisoned in a tiny little gemstone like Jafar. But I don't know. This seems like especially bad, where she's snapping at everyone, trying to kill everyone, and then eventually runs away upon seeing Rlain and Renarin, Singer and Human, united. Hopefully our heroes are able to make some breakthrough with her, but she had a really crappy day. Number 5, going to the other interlude, the confusing interlude, the one with the Iriali, and Dial was the viewpoint there. So Dial and all the Iriali had a pretty bad day. I know this is like the next step in their journey, the 5th journey, and they're going into the land of shadows and are leaving Roshar for good. Whatever this means, there's very limited knowledge on what this is. If you're a really big Cosmere expert, let me know in the comments. But all I'm getting out of this is, it's nice to kind of think about the last days and what could happen in the apocalypse, etc. But if you're actually living it, that's pretty bad. That just, you're going to have some bad circumstances. And so Dial had to leave, the shop and all the comfortable life that she had. And now she's off going through who knows what. Okay, so rapid fire plot points. What else did you miss in day 6? Few Kaladin viewpoints. He's chatting with Nail and having a lot of frustrating arguments that just kind of go in circles and get into this logic stuff that Kaladin is just not equipped to handle. Maybe Kaladin should have been in the he did not have a great day here. There were maybe some worse candidates, so Kaladin would be maybe number 6. There are more Szeth flashbacks. Specifically, he talks with Sivi, who is the will shaper on Nimi that we saw previously had died. And we remarked upon, this is what Honor looks like. She did not fall to the voice. Sivi seems like a cool character. She's taken up with Szeth's father, which is a bit of a shock and maybe somewhat scandalous, but it is what it is, and Szeth has to deal with that. Szeth decides he's going to go forward on the pilgrimage. He has a fallout with his sister, and then his father, Nuturo, decides to come with him again. So we get an advancement in Szeth's flashbacks. A little bit more Venli. Venli and the listeners have decided they will not be fighting. Seems like we're pretty united on this. And it also seems like something that will for sure not actually happen, because I'm sure that they will join up in some way, because they're literally going to the battle. Anyway, they do continue on the quest, and we'll see what happens when they get closer. There's a lot more Shallan that I mentioned in the top ratings. So Rlain has this plan that they can watch the visions from outside, which seems to work pretty well. Shallan has some internal stuff with Pattern, when Pattern helps her realize that her statistics about killing everyone she loves is actually way off, and she's actually, on the right path, and etc. So that seems nice. They have a long discussion about this eternal nature of the conflict between the humans and the Singers, and neither side is right, and how is this ever going to be resolved? It seems like this is hinting at eventually some kind of resolution that Dalinar will establish that will have a lasting peace, or will be something that's equal for human and Singers. I think going into this book, maybe we're thinking go humans, but actually we're getting a lot more of, the Singers are people too. So I think this is helping us understand it a little more. And then finally, there's another little throwaway clue for the big reveal that I won't mention here in case you're not aware, but is definitely happening. So tune in when. I'm sure that will happen later in the book. Oh, also Sigzil. Sigzil has not really had any good days, but it's not of his own fault. I think he's doing pretty well. His squire dies here, and they have to retreat from Narak too. And Molak and the Death Rattles are here, so the Unmade are even converging upon the Shattered Plains. It seems really dire here, and we're running out of Stormlight, and we're retreating quicker than we should have. But go Sigzil. Adolin plays Towers again with Yanagan. I'm assuming something about this relationship is going to be big later on, but not really sure what it is yet. I was intrigued because they mentioned this mysterious 4th way that a smaller force can win, and well, in real life we've got a smaller force that is fighting against a much larger force. What is that way? Well, maybe this mysterious 4th way will be what actually happens, and hopefully they will in fact come out on top in Azimir. So looking forward to the reveal there. And then I was wrong previously when I thought that Hamask, his Thalen friend, was actually like some kind of Ghostblood or assassin or something bad. He's actually like a really nice guy who Adolin saved his son back in the Battle of Thalen Field, and he loves him now. And so kind of a heartwarming story that I thought was going to be the exact opposite. And then finally, the thing with the reinforcements was Emil and Tashik, the other two of the other kingdoms in the Azish Empire, have made their own deal with Odium, and they turned against the reinforcements. And as part of this deal, they're slowing things down and kind of screwing over Azimir. So, great. Maybe we should have foreseen this, but there was a lot going on. We were making our battle plans. So hopefully somehow, this fourth way of winning a fight with a smaller force can come out and help us. A few additional notes with Dalinar here. I thought it was interesting that Ishar takes some of the pain when they're trying to reform the Oath Pact. So, like, individuals are able to suck up the pain of the other people that are part of the Oath Pact. So I don't know. Maybe that's nothing. Maybe that is important later on. He has that other Stormfather throwdown, and Stormfather continues to be unreliable. We still can't quite pin down who he actually is or what's going on here. Or anyway, and then Gavinor is hearing voices. So that sounds ominous. This poor kid, he's probably having the worst day out of anyone. Maybe he should just be number one in the bottom rankings every day, because we're sucking a child through hell here. And then last but not least, in this big, long, confusing interlude, Galadon, Bayon, and Demu, the captain from Mistborn, are 3 world hoppers now. We saw them earlier in The Way of Kings. Now they're over here. I guess they're still looking for Hoid, and Hoid rewards them with a letter with some dirty drawings on it. So not really sure what to make of any of this. It seems like it's just kind of like a nod to other stuff that's going on in the Cosmere that, I don't know, like stuff. I love the Cosmere, but stuff like this, it's hard to say how important it is or what even it is. So this happened. Make of it what you will.